Alright. Alright. I'm remembering this time. Put my slippies on at the start of the stream. I know. I'm fully aware that my little piggies will get cold over the course of the evening, so I'm taking measures to prevent that now, as opposed to waiting. Like the fool that I usually am. I am not remembering to post and then pin the donation link at the beginning of the stream. I will be doing that momentarily. I am definitely not remembering to do that, but I am remembering to put socks on, which I think is equally, if not more. So I will consider that. I'll consider it a wash. We come out even. We come out even in this exchange. I think everything else is good to go, though. I think we're all set. Hold on, let me just get one of these in there to be sure.
This is a test Streamlabs charity donation.
Okay. I keep psyching myself out. I feel like I don't know. Am I just missing them every time? Or am I not hearing them? I don't know. Are they not working? Am I just not hearing it? I don't know. We got big problems. We got big problems in Little Millie. Anyway. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel the warmth course through my. I'm feeling the coziness start to seep through my veins. Anyway. Hi, hello. How's everybody doing? I have a soda tonight. I decided to treat myself. Before the stream started, right as soon as the stream started, I was like, you know what? I think it might be a soda night. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta say, this one's particularly good. They were having a good day at the factory. I don't know. There's a little extra soda gunk in this one. This one's pulpy. I like it. Adds a little bit of texture, more flavor. Anyway, yeah, I gotta do this before it goes off screen. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Nope, that's also not what I wanted to do. Hold on, let me try this one more time. Let me try this one more time. There we go. Oh, no, don't do that. Yeah, do that. There we go. The long bad day factory? Damn, production's up over there. Anyway, what up, Minty? What up, Stone? What up, Pickle? How y'all doing? You're filled with energy and more? Oh my goodness. I'm not really filled with... I gotta say, today's the first day that I'm feeling kind of tired. We've been keeping the momentum going, but I didn't really sleep very well last night, so I'm a little sleepy, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll make at least some progress. I don't know. I like these little dancing creatures. I don't know. I like the dancing emote that I have, but I definitely need more. I definitely need additional ones. Also, I got really nervous when I read this because you put that and then said new emote of the day, and I was like, oh god, but in 20 odd minutes. So I got real nervous there for a second. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I'm already satisfied with the amount that has been made so far, so. We'll see. But yeah, I'm feeling a little, this is gonna be a more low-key one, I feel. I don't think any of them, I mean, I guess probably they have been, the first couple were a little high-key. They were definitely pretty high energy. This one's probably not gonna be super high energy. It's probably gonna be a little more laid back, you know? We're a quarter of the way there, though. 250k. 250,000 roses. I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea how to feel about it. It feels like I don't know. It's too much. It's a lot to process, I guess. That's partially why I don't know. I don't know how to feel. $250k feel it like I don't know. I guess it is a lot, but it also kind of isn't a lot. But I guess it is. I have no clue. But yeah, I don't think we can't delay too much. Today's just gonna be rolling. Today's just gonna be another roller. We still have the cousin, we have the music tier list, and we have the cousin tier list we have to do. And then we have, you know, the other thing that we also have to do. And then we have that other thing that we gotta do. But again, I'm trying to space out the I'm trying to space out the rewards, because again, I didn't expect them all to be accomplished literally immediately, so Ugh. I have to who I have to report to. There's somebody I gotta report to? I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know about that. Delay. And then an arrow pointing to an arrow from an egg pointing to a chicken. Huh? Excuse me? You think I've got a supervisor? You think that there's any kind of oversight here on this production? I guess she's not really a supervisor. She's more like an observer, a watcher in the dark, if you will. I can understand the confusion there, but I don't know if I would use the term supervisor. If you would describe two beady eyes staring at you from out of the shadows, two glowing red eyes staring at you from out of the darkness as supervision, then I guess so. I guess that counts. More of a lousy visor. I can't even... I don't even have the strength to pretend to be amused by that. I don't even have the energy to pretend to be amused by that. I'm sorry. I don't have it in me. I gotta file those reports regardless. Damn. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna get into it. Because we got a lot... There's a lot of roses that need to be rolled. So... we need to do that. Where is it? Here we go. I don't know, for some reason I always gotta activate... Or I gotta always deactivate and reactivate the game capture before, otherwise it doesn't work. I don't know. It's weird. It always starts off. And then I have to, like... I don't know. It's weird. Oh, you can't hear it. There you go. Oh, wait, no. You're supposed to hear this. I think? Wait. There you go. Oh, that's interesting. I just discovered a quirk of my setup that I didn't realize was a thing. Very interesting. Not to you, obviously, but to me. And I guess it wasn't very interesting. It was extremely minorly interesting, but... Yes, you certainly did. Oh yeah, this completely silent intro. I forgot about this. I guess we can do like live remixes. I gotta time this to see how long it is. And then we can try and like sync up a different song. We can try and sync up different songs with the opening and see what works. I don't have anything prepared right now, but I'll try to figure out how long this is. And then we can do live remixes. Yeah, I guess it does just say rolling is so much fun after you unlock everything.
Called off. Called off. Whoa.
A dip. Like a chip dip? Like a crisp dip? I guess it would be a crisp dip. Or yeah, we stopped at 250,000. That's right. That is correct. Oh, like a dipstick? Like that kind of dip? Interesting. What's my... Yeah, okay. What's my fucking problem? I'm always asking myself that. What's my fucking problem? Hello, Gruner. What's up? We've just begun. The evening has just begun. We start at 200. I don't know what my goal is for tonight. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm feeling a little sleepy, so I'm gonna try to get to at least 300k. 50k a night seems pretty easily doable. And since I'm only doing this tonight, I think we can probably aim a little higher than that. How many did I get yesterday? I got 50. I think I got 50K yesterday, right? I don't really remember. I think I started at 200,000. I think that's where we began the evening. Doing that, doing that origami rose was actually surprisingly fun. I really liked it. Maybe I'll do some more origami streams in the future. That was really nice. I had a good time. I should probably get some actual origami paper though, if I'm gonna continue to do that. I didn't really think about it, but there is very much a reason why it's colored on one side and a different color or white on the other side. I can imagine once things start to get more complicated, that's going to be way more necessary. Because I'm guessing you need the creases to go in a specific direction. You can't just have the crease go either way. Like, you could always bend it back, but yeah. That was one of my, I was thinking about that. That was kind of one of my soft goals for this year, was to introduce more different types of streams. I resoundingly failed at that. That did not happen. I pretty much just played video games, which I'm okay with. But I would like to, you know, try out some other stuff. There's another game that came out today that I've been looking. Oh yeah, Unbeatable came out today, which is like a rhythm. It's like a rhythm game, but it's like it has like a story mode and stuff. It looks really cool. That was another game that was announced a long ass time ago that finally came out. There's a bunch of stuff coming out, or that has come out, and is coming out soon, that I really want to play. Those are for the, I mean, they could be for any type of chip, really. There's different types of dips for different types of chips. If it's tortillas, I would say I would go with salsa. If you're going with tortilla chips, that would be more of a salsa than a dip. The definition of a dip is vague. Really, they're not called tortilla crisps. They're called tortilla chips. Interesting. Is Twitch acting up again? Twitch is always acting up though. Twitch is always acting a fool. Oh yeah, wait, we gotta, hold on. To ruin this old man's chances of getting it in. I don't know, chip dips are more of like a, they're more of like a party thing, or more of like an entertaining thing. You don't really have a dip by yourself. You put out a dip at like a party or a gathering. You don't really, at least I don't. They're for special occasions. That's when you get out the nice plastic forks. Instead of the regular plastic forks, you get out the shiny silver ones that have a little embossed design around the edge. That's when you break out those, when you're having a nice 7-layer bean dip. Did I read any more Homestuck? I did not read any more Homestuck, no. Not today. Although I was thinking about it. You asked yesterday what I thought of Rose. I think the joke with Rose and her mom, of them, their little their little petty back and forth where they're always trying to one up each other, I think is probably the funniest joke so far. I think that's probably my favorite bit so far. I think that's really, that makes me go hee hee ha ha. That makes me giggle every time. That's a good one. Plastic forks? Yeah, plastic forks. Do they not have those in England? Surely you have plastic forks over there. The real fine china. Oh, do you see that? There's like a tiny little lip here, and I got completely stuck on it. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. The physics in this game are, I don't really know how they work. They seem very strange. You don't really notice it most of the time, but going through this handful of levels over and over and over again in like basically the exact same route every time, doing just hundreds of loops around these small stages is really showing a lot of weird stuff happening. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm definitely feeling it tonight. You're feeling weird today? What kind of weird? Should I be worried about that? Good weird or bad weird? I feel like I kind of already do know every atom of these levels, and we're only 25% of the way done. I feel like I kind of already do know these levels pretty intimately. Bad weird? Oh, that's not good. Well, hopefully that passes. Is this a no smoking sign? I guess it is. And this is like, I don't know. Is that loss? I guess this is kind of a, I don't know. It's got red text on it, so it's probably some kind of warning. It's listing a bunch of ne'er-do-wells that are lurking around the town that you need to keep an eye out for. That's just like a, you know, that's like a political ad. That's someone running for local, I don't know, whatever they have in Japan. Whatever you become the mayor, I don't know. They probably have mayors over there. Whatever the local head of government would be. The comptroller. I don't know what a comptroller is. I just know that word. It's a strange sounding word. It sounds very made up. I don't actually know what it is. I mean, I guess all words are made up, but you know what I mean. I don't know what the random things are that can appear in this level, because in the skating rink, there's a bunch of random... It might only be on the skating rink. In the skating rink, there's a bunch of random... The NPCs are kind of random, but I think on the other two stages, they're just the same every time. It's the peacocks, it's the luau ladies, and it's the little girl and the pig, I guess. It's Babe in the Big City. Hire a carp roller? They probably have a carp roller around here somewhere. That's what you call someone who makes sushi. They're a carp roller. Someone who makes sashimi. There's probably a few of those around in this little Japanese town. I don't know, do you eat... I don't think you... Would you eat carp as, like, a piece of sushi? I don't think it is. I don't think that is a sushi fish. I'm not sure, though. If it is, I've certainly never had it. Is there a cousin whose head is like a big sushi roll? I don't think there is. That seems like a pretty major missed opportunity. That seems so obvious to me. There's gotta be, right? But I don't think so. I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out when we do the cousin tier list. I think when we do the cousin tier list, it's gonna be all of them. For the music tier list, I don't know. I think the music tier list, we're just gonna go with the first two games, because those are the ones I'm more familiar with. Or maybe we can separate it out. Maybe we can do like... Maybe we can do each game. Maybe we can do each game. Because we've gotten every goal and then probably several uninstated goals after that, so... It was also, I guess it was also kind of an, I liked the idea, but I guess it's kind of an ill-conceived concept for the charity, because the idea was that we would reach the goals which would distract me from playing the game and rolling up roses to make the charity go on longer, so people would have more time to donate. However, we accomplished all of the goals on the first day, and it seems like rolling up the roses just on its own is already going to take forever. So, I guess I didn't really think about that, huh? Yeah, I think the cousin from Namco High is like a... I think they're an OC. I think they were made for that game. I don't think they're actually in Katamari. Which is weird that they didn't add them. I don't know. I didn't unlock all the cousins in Once Upon a Katamari, which I'm assuming would have them all. But... there's a sushi roll cousin. There should be the blunt cousin, whose head is a big blunt. There's already the mushroom cousin. There's the crack pipe cousin. It is kind of, I don't know. I like that they don't really elaborate on where the cousins come from. Because they're not siblings of the prince, they're cousins. Which mean there must be other celestial entities out there besides the king and the queen of all cosmos. But we never see or hear about them, ever. But they have to be out there if the prince has cousins. There have to be various lords and ladies of the cosmos out there. We just don't know anything about them and we never see them. They don't even have a name in Namco High? They didn't even get like a name like in the art book or something? That's kind of funny. Yeah, the Duchess of all Cosmos, the Duke of all Cosmos, the Baron of all Cosmos, the Comptroller of all Cosmos. The head of the PTA of all Cosmos. I like that though. I like it when stories don't feel the need to explain everything to you. When they just give you room to dream, as it were, you know? Yeah, the Frank of all Cosmos. Not to be confused with Cousin Frank, who's a different guy. That's a different guy. Who doesn't have any sort of official title. Doing this over and over again is kind of making me want to just play like a normal level, but I don't know. I don't know if we have time for that. Doing this over and over again is really just making me want to play the normal Katamari, but we can't really do that. We can't really drag this on for any longer than we're already locked in for. It's just called the interesting. Shit, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I have watched Breaking Bad, but not in years. Not in an extremely long time. Not since, like, it was coming out, so... It's been quite a while. Apparently Vince Gilligan has a new show. That's coming out now. That apparently is supposed to be pretty good. Some of my friends are watching it, but I don't know. I'm just not in the mood to watch any TV shows. I'm never in the mood to watch TV shows, to be fair. I don't really do that. It's not really my thing. I do know the Salamanca family. There's too much other stuff I gotta... There's too much other stuff I gotta consume. Yeah, I guess when it, you know, when it comes to like normal human families, there's a lot of that going on. It just is a little bit weirder in something like Katamari, where they're strange, inexplicable space beings. That makes you think about it a little bit more. About how it works. Is there anything hiding in this pipe? Is there anything we can see in here? No. Aw, there's would have been nice for a little Easter egg to be in there. Like a literal Easter egg. But alas. This is like... I don't know. I'm not really sure how to describe this, but have they ever made a tiny parkour game? Because I'm thinking about Katamari and how the cousins are all really, really tiny. And they run around in these environments. Have they ever made a game like that where you're like a really tiny character running around a stage and doing parkour and the shit? That seems like it could be really fun. Like you're running around the little Katamari stage, a cousin-sized being, and getting, I don't know, you're getting points. You're getting points and doing sick combos and wall runs and epic slides. I don't know. That seems like it could be really fun. But I don't know if that already exists. They should make a cousin that is a Katamari? I don't know. I don't really want to think about that. I don't really want to think about how that would work. They could add a Katamari costume. They could add a present that gives you a Katamari outfit that you can wear. That I'm okay with. I'm okay with Katamari cosplay. But I mean, maybe. We don't know what's inside the Katamari though. The inside of each Katamari is like a miniature demon core. It has like its own tiny little universe inside of it, and if you were to crack it open, it would destroy reality. It's like Pandora's box. All the evils of the universe would flow out and destroy the cosmos, and not in a way that you could repair it. That's actually what Katamaris really are. They're like tiny little prison spheres for extra-dimensional entities. And that's why they use them to make stars and planets and things, to contain their power. Actually, I guess that is, if a Katamari can be turned into like a star or like a planet, it would have to contain like an incredible amount of energy inside of it, you know? It would have to contain like the core of a planet's, or the core of a star's worth of energy inside of it in order for it to be made into a planet, you know? It's like those little capsules that you drop into water and they turn into a dinosaur sponge. It's like that, but with a planet. So if you did break open a Katamari, it probably would be catastrophic. It would create some sort of like supernova or something. I didn't really think about that. I was just kind of making a joke, but that is probably what would happen. Katamaris are actually the most deadly weapon in the entire universe. Do you want to hear a bad idea? Sure. Did I check out the music video? I think I was going to. I saw that it was by Alkemilia, and I was like, I haven't listened to any Alkemilia in a long time. I think it was one of those things where it's like I saw that it was posted, but I didn't actually watch. I was like, I'll watch that later, and then I didn't yet. A story in which a spaceship fixes a minor fault on a beacon. Every chapter is a different version of the same ship fixing the same beacon. That is a bad idea, but it could be a good idea. Or I guess it could be, it could still work, but I think that could be a good idea for a story if it was like, you know, over the years and it's like maybe a different ship or like a different crew going to fix it, and like you do a lot of like subtle background world building, you know, like some sort of anthology of like different people going, and you sort of hear about the events in the galaxy and the technology and things like that advancing. I think that could, I don't know, I think you could do that. I think you could do that in a good way. That's an entirely different concept. Well, not entirely different. It's at least kind of the same. It's mostly different, but I don't know about entirely different. It still involves a spaceship and a beacon that needs to be fixed. There's at least some commonality with the original pitch. Oh, the emote. Relax. Calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Although I guess if you forget to redeem it as early as possible, then it's just gonna get later and later every time. Oh, there you go. See, perfect. Flintstone Space Age, which is to say, not the Jetsons. Caveman UFO powered by running. I could see that is kind of like an interesting concept. Which, okay, this is probably very different from what you're talking about, but it did give me an idea. The idea of like a cartoon, like you know how they have like cartoon physics and things like that? Like cartoon characters are constantly doing like wacky shit like that, like running with the Flintstones and things like that. The characters of that world like discover those, they like treat that as like science. Those are like properties of the world they start to study and they base all their technology around it. So like, you know, like in the Flintstones, like they had like they recognize that they can power vehicles by running like that, and so they build their technology on that sort of like property of physics, and then you build it out from there, you know. There's something there. It would require way too much creative thinking that I don't think I have in me right now. It would require a lot more brain power to come up with good ideas around that I simply just don't have access to at the present moment. But there's something there. That's probably been done before, but not enough. There's a lot of potential there. My dogs are pretty warm right now. They're getting warmer. As I sit in this room with the doors closed, the heat steadily builds up. The heat and the idling milli fumes steadily build up and make me both warmer and more delirious as the stream goes on. Alright, we'll switch stages like every 10k. How about that? Yeah, sure, Stone. Okay. You have a really bad headache? Maybe you should go lay down then. Maybe you should not be watching the stream and you should go lay down or something. I wonder what the various breakpoints are for the king to have new dialogue in this. Because his dialogue has already changed once, so I wonder how many times it's going to before we reach 1 million. I emit fumes? Don't worry about that. I grew up on the planet Tarathwol in a stilt house on the lake Bamaxumtra in a little village called Lahujim Lim, population 152 last time I checked. And that's up from when I lived there. That is very brief and random. You didn't lie. That is an entirely accurate description of that rating. You know what, let's play as Opio. Let's play as the cousin whose entire gimmick is that he's like in a full body cast almost. No, OPO. He's probably taking opium to deal with all the pain, but his name is not Opium. He really likes opium and does it all the time, but that's incidental. That's not related. I wonder what his idle animation is. Does he just sit down? I gotta say, I think the little buddy is probably my favorite. It's like my favorite costume accessory in like any game. It's so good. Also, another underappreciated detail about this game that I need to bring up. All of the costume items and the little presents that you can get look different for every cousin. Like the scarf and things like that. Like all of the little accessories that they can wear. Maybe not all, probably not all of them, but a lot of them look different for each cousin. Like the scarf is different on every cousin. Would I want a little version of myself to rest on my head in the physical verse? I already have that. She's called Scribblemillia. She's right there. I already have one of those. So I guess the answer is no, I don't want that. I've already got that and I don't want it. I also have the little clay figurine, so does that count? It's not a living version of me. It's not a flesh and blood version, but I could do that. I don't know, I gotta just keep going around. I'm like... Also, I just realized, on this stage, I've always been going against the flow of traffic. I'm always going against the flow of traffic. No, I don't think you're supposed to believe that the Katamari accessory is alive. That's not what I meant to imply. I was just saying because Scribblemillia is alive. In a sense. I don't know if she's flesh and blood, but she is alive. I don't know, it feels wrong to be going this way, but I gotta observe the rules and the laws of the skating rink. I don't know why it didn't occur to me until now that I was going the wrong way the entire time, but... Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do much beyond 50k tonight. I think I need to rest. It is still very shocking to me that there's not more Katamari inspired games out there. And I don't even mean like outside of like even just direct rip-offs. I feel like there's not even anything that like attempts to replicate the concept, but just like a little different. Okay. I'm still shocked that one of the stages that you that, like one of the stages for this isn't the flower stage. That whole game, like a big hole you move to make things fall in it. I have not seen that before. Big hole game. I mean, I wasn't thinking. I don't know. Again, it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit more for me than just like saying the word hole to get my mind in the gutter. It takes a little bit more than that for me. I don't just hear a word like hole or tip and automatically my mind automatically goes to dirty places. It usually takes a bit more than that. Oh, 1,000,000 roses. Oh, okay. Donut County. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up then. It's not been aided by repeated failures of getting the stream to play. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign that you shouldn't be watching the stream. Hey, Picture, what up? Yeah, donate. Give money to charity. Support, not killing yourself. Support aid to the mentally anguished. I'll have to look that up. That's interesting that Donut County is about dropping things into a big donut. It seems like a very easy Katamari ripoff would be, you like eat things and get bigger. They should make a wait a minute. I just thought of a way better Katamari ripoff than my alien idea, even though I still like the alien idea. It's like a Shin Godzilla game where you start as like a tiny baby kaiju and you run around and you eat stuff to get bigger, and then you eventually become gigantic and you smash up this. You have to smash up the entire city and get more food that way. You start eating like buildings and things like that. The kaiju's like some sort of space monster that has like a black hole in its tummy. And you can eat anything, and you eat it and you get bigger. And then like, you know, the stages play out like Katamari levels where you just get bigger and bigger and bigger until you're eventually eating the entire planet. That was kind of like the game jam idea me and Picture had for the... There's a game that we were thinking about where you, like... We didn't get very far in this idea, but you have, like, a monster dog that you have to take for a walk. And you don't control the dog, you just control the person, like, holding the leash. And you have to, like, walk around the neighborhood and prevent the dog from, like, fucking things up. It's like a crazy little dog that, you know, is always trying to fight other dogs and, like, eat wildlife and, like, smash things. And so you have to, like, try and wrangle it around the neighborhood. Yeah, that was a good idea. We should still try to do something with that. That would be a fun idea. I liked that one. That would be good. That could be good as, like, a very, like, you know, like a $3, like, little arcade game type thing. Yeah, we didn't get too far in developing that idea, but I like that one. At one point, quote, cried in comics about wanting Robin to die, and then it changed to, oh, jeez. Well, I hope the stream issues clear up, Grinner. They didn't mine enough energy. They didn't get enough coal today. I'm going the wrong way again. They didn't harvest enough internet. Nobody's gonna die on my watch. Batman knocks him out with a boomerang, throws him on the ground, cuffs him, and then takes him to like a therapist's office. Leaves him hanging upside down outside of a therapy office. I don't know, something tells me that the mental health services at Arkham Asylum are not really super effective. Nobody ever breaks out of Arkham Asylum to become a productive and healthy member of society. Nobody ever seems to get out of Arkham and then, like, feel better. And be, like, not a villain anymore. It seems like it mostly just makes them worse. You'd think with the amount of high-profile super criminals that they get over there, like, on the daily, they'd probably invest a little bit more into, you know, public awareness of, like, probably, you know, more of a public Gotham mental health campaign, but... that could be a fun idea for a series. The counselor that has to deal with all the supervillains that get taken in. Someone who works at an Arkham Asylum style place, where they have to rehabilitate the supervillains. Again, that's probably been done before, but... that one seems obvious. Can we get Bruce Wayne to donate to the charity? Can we get Bruce Wayne in here? I'm well aware of that, Stone. I'm very well aware of that. That's why we're doing this charity, so that we can change that. So we can work on changing that. That's the goal here. Well, I guess the real goal here is to make me feel better. I guess the real goal here is to help me feel better about things. Not if any good happens outside of that, if we happen to raise some money for charity, that's good too. Did I see what was just done? No, what was just done? What happened? Is that the end of the album? It is. Okay. I don't know, I kind of zoned out there for a second. I wasn't really paying attention to the music at all. I need to give a certain person something? Was there another why can't I hear the donations? Was there another donation? I don't know why. Can you hear them? If that's even what you're talking about. Oh, shit. Thank you, Carlos. Ow! Oh, my arm. Good God. Thank you for the donation. I'll get right on that. Yeah, why can't, because when I do the test, when I do a test donation,
This is a test Streamlabs charity donation.
then I hear it. But for some reason, when I get an actual, well, no, because like I'll put on, hold on, I'll put on the music right now. And then I'll play it, and I'll do the test. Yeah, no, I can hear that perfectly fine.
This is a test Streamlabs charity donation.
I can hear that perfectly fine. It's just the actual donations for some reason get lost. Or that they don't play on my end. I don't know why. But alright, let's go over to the doodle dimension. I got these reports ready. I got these reports ready to file. Quick, somebody donate more to see if I can hear it. Give more money to the charity to see if the notifications are working for me. Yeah, I don't know what's causing it. It's very odd to me that it's like getting fucked up like that. Or that I can't hear it. Because I can hear the test. And I can hear... Everything's like all kind of slightly out of whack on this screen, but it's fine. You made a crazy realization that filled you with hope. Oh, you get a rose too, that's right. I just went over to it. I was still moving things around. You get a rose too. How much was that? A tenner? It was. That's a blue rose. That one's a blue one. I'll do this first. What was this crazy realization that filled you with hope? Oh, you can see the chat, you can see the other chat underneath this chat now. This is the most fucked up... This is the most fucked up looking screen right now. Well, not the most fucked up, but... Yeah, I know. We gotta upgrade Phineas's rose. I still haven't decided on what yet. But I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll probably try to get some artwork done tomorrow. I'll probably try to get back into the swing of things with that, because I haven't been doing that really for the past few days. There you go, there's your rose. So what do you want, a little chibi tank? You just fuck off and just make a recoil animation? I guess you're right. That is true. So you want some kind of chibi tank? Alright, let's try this. Let's do like a, like it's coming at you. Give it a little doohickey like this. I mean, yeah, whatever works. Whatever gets it done, you know? Whatever gets it done. If things need to be adjusted later. This little tank, the little tank game. Well, it's gonna be a while, I think, before that gets ready. Before we're ready to do anything with that. Also, you're probably gonna have to pay for that. You're probably gonna have to pay for that. So it's not really a donation. At least I plan on charging money for it. I don't know if that's in your conception of this. It's coming right at you. Are the tanks also cute girls? They're not currently. They could be, but they're not currently. There we go. There's your little tank. I don't really draw too many mechanical designs, but I'm discovering that I actually kind of do like doing it. I want to get better at it. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm thinking about this, but I'm kind of feeling like I don't want there to be any people in the game. I'm kind of feeling like I don't want you to actually like ever see any people. But I don't know. Or if you ever do, it's like... I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about that. You certainly have little bodies to ragdoll and blow up. Well, yeah, but I don't... Again, this is sort of going back to the... We gotta talk about the aesthetic, because I have some ideas for the aesthetic and things like that. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's really gonna work. But... There's definitely going to be things to well, because the other thing is, like, this is what I was thinking about, too. Should you be able to get out of the tank? That's the other question. No? Okay, see, that's what I was thinking as well. And if we do that, then I feel like there shouldn't be people, you know? If we're gonna make it purely tank focused, then I don't think there should be people at all. Or like if there are people, like you only see them like when you're in like a town or something, you know? You only see them when you're like... they're like NPC cutouts that you talk to. They're not like people you interact with. Yeah, you only see them on social media. Well, I don't think they would have that, but... I'm sort of thinking for the aesthetic picture, I kind of want to go with a and I was thinking of like Nazca of the Valley of the Wind and like make it sort of like ancient technology type beat, and it's like everything is like I don't know if I want it to be like super hardcore like realistic military machines. I think I kind of want it to have like a little bit of a whimsical, more like fantasy-esque flavor to it, because I was thinking about like it would be cool or like it would be fun if you have some incentive to like go exploring off the beaten path. And I think it would be cool if it was like, you know, there was some ancient war with like a bunch of advanced technology and like you're trying to recover from that. So there's like there's like autonomous war machines and like dangerous wildlife and like fucked up like mutants from like the nuclear fallout equivalent, and like that's sort of like you're not dealing with like a standing army but more just like the remnants of that, and you're sort of like navigating this world, because I think it would be more, I kind of want to incentivize like exploring it a little bit. And I think if there's like ancient ruins and like battlegrounds and like that kind of thing like strewn about, I think it would be much more, I think that's a much more interesting space to like design in, or at least it kind of like, for me it is, that's for sure. Like I am definitely more attracted to developing that kind of setting, you know. And I think it would also give me a lot more leeway to just like make like weird or like more simple kind of like abstract designs and not make them like super like, you know, this is the fucking Sturm Tiger or something, you know, and it's like a 1-to-1 recreation. I think it would be, or like this is like a fucking Sherman, you know. I think it would be more fun to like have it be a little bit like I don't know. What do you call fantasy? What do you call like fantasy military hardware aesthetic? What kind of punk is that? Is it mana punk? It's like a mana punk type vibe, you know? Diesel punk? I don't know. I don't know if it would be quite diesel punk. I think it would be a little bit more naturalistic and magical than that. How far could we push a tank? I think that there definitely should be like, I think it should be majority tanks, but I think that there should be like a handful of like other vehicles for like very specific purposes, you know? Just to like mess around with that. Definitely for enemies. Definitely for enemy machines, I want to do a bunch of weird stuff. But yeah. Diesel punk, I think is, I thought of that, but I think it's a little bit, it's generally a little bit more gritty than what I'm thinking of. I don't know though. Trying to find what music I want to put on though. And I'm just kind of like, I'm talking too much, so I'm not really like, see, this is a lot of wasted time. This is a lot of time that could be spent collecting roses where I'm not doing that. So but yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, but that's kind of like what I was thinking, is like have it be in that kind of setting. Cause like the major incentive for that is like I want you to be able to like instead of only doing deliveries, I think it would be fun if like we make the environment like really mysterious and hide like a lot of little secrets and like things to find, and like materials and like stuff that you can pick up, or like locations that you can scout out and get like a bonus for doing that, and then like incentivize people to go off on the beaten path. And it's like, you know, you can't get over here because you don't have enough fuel capacity, or like you don't have the right treads, or like, you know, like reward people, like get people to not only upgrade the machine to like, you know, deal with enemies and like do the deliveries better, but also just like facilitate their own kind of like exploration of the environment. Yes, like that snowy game. It is a delivery like that is like the basis. But yeah, I did notice that that's like one of the major things that I think is missing from like Death Stranding and like the Deep Snow Delivery and like the Easy Delivery Co. and like all of them is like there's not really much or any reason to explore the environment outside of doing the deliveries. And I feel like that's kind of because in those big types of like open world games, I always like to just like walk around and see if there's any like cool hidden shit and just like explore the environment. So I definitely want that to be like something that you can do, you know. I want that to be like fleshed out in a way. You're probably thinking of Deep Snow Delivery, which I'm pretty sure is still being worked on. I haven't really checked on that, but I'm pretty sure the person making that has been steadily plugging away at it. I don't know how far along it is, but when did I play that? Like a year ago? Maybe more? I played that a while ago at this point. But yeah, I like that one a lot. I really don't know what I want to listen to. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I don't want to listen to anything too crazy. You have been around for quite a while. It is true. For some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, people continue to keep coming back to the stream. I'm not really sure why, but yeah. That's sort of what I've been thinking about, Picture. That's sort of like where my mind is going as far as like I don't know, the vibe, as far as the visuals and the sort of world building. That's why I was saying I needed to do research the other day. I needed to do aesthetical research. Welcome back, Renner. Hopefully you're actually back. And not just pretend back. Going the wrong way again. I don't know, I guess for the next charity event, I should hook up some sort of, like, electrical shock collar to zap me whenever I get a donation, so I definitely don't miss them. That does actually, like, legitimately make me feel really bad. It's that people are donating and I'm not hearing the notification. I know I'm laughing, but that's more like nervous laughter. I do feel really bad about that. It was working the first day. I don't know why it's not doing it anymore. And the test works, like, I don't know what to do, because I'm doing the same thing I did the first day, and the tests are working, so I don't know why it's not coming through. You're pissed about the internet? Well, just try to relax. Don't worry too, you're not missing too much. I mean, I'm glad you guys can hear it. I'm glad y'all can hear it. And then let me know that something happened. That's the other thing that I don't understand is why can you hear it, but I can't? I don't know. It wasn't the internet? Oh. Huh. It was some sort of gremlin? Some sort of demon? Firefox isn't it? I use Firefox and I don't have a problem with Twitch. That's very weird. Unless they just changed that. Tonight, but I use Firefox. Yeah, I don't know, that's weird. You have a lot of tank thoughts and you missed half my speech because you got pulled away. What did you hear? I feel like I probably repeated myself and rambled a little bit, so you probably got the most of it. Oh yeah, I was thinking that kind of like, you know, there's like there's like a war with like ancient technologies, and like now the world is all fucked up and there's ruins and battlefields and shit everywhere, and you're exploring that kind of environment. Because I want there to be a reason to explore the world outside of just doing the deliveries and things like that. I want there to be like cool places to explore and stuff to find, you know? Setting and aesthetics don't necessarily preclude the use of humanoids. They don't, but I have some like ideas for that, but there should be a literal tow behind trailer. I was thinking that could be either like a box that you attach to the back of the tank, and then like there should definitely be different sizes, you know? Like I think the tow behind trailer would be like for like really big deliveries, you know? What's the tank talk? Me and Picture are working on a new game idea that is this, where you pilot a little tank. I don't know. I've noticed, Picture, that whenever it comes to these game ideas, you always want them to be like way more violent and cruel than I want them to be. Random people always need to be like exploding or dying or blowing up. You want a lot of carnage. You want way more carnage in these things than I ever would have expected. I mean, I guess it's kind of both. It's tank deliveries, but it has sort of a Katamari-esque control scheme. Sort of visceral when they're humanoids? Okay. I mean, maybe. I definitely think that there should be, like, golems and things like that. Like, humanoid-looking weapons like that. Like, that could be, like, one of the ancient, weird technologies, is, like, you know, golems and shit like that. I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything in case any of this shit actually makes it into the game, but I do have some ideas for like humanoid stuff that we could include. I also think that we could still make it pretty visceral and satisfying without that. You know? If there's like a bunch of debris and sparks and shit flying everywhere. And there definitely should be like biological like animals and things like that that are dangerous. Like bugoids. There should definitely be some sort of bugoid or bugoid adjacent faction where you can like you can like drive through a swarm of them and they splatter all over the place. You know? Oh, you mean like narratively? Okay. I see. Well, that's a completely different question then. There could be like a raider faction, you know? Or like bandits and things like that. We'll have the humanoids can be the equivalent of diesel punk goblins. How about that? Diesel punk orcs. The muties left over from the horrible experiments that have now run amok. Yeah, I do want to check out Citadel at some point. It's on the list. It's for sure on the list. Oh shit, it's almost time to switch stages. I wasn't even paying attention. I haven't been looking at the scoreboard at all. What? What do you mean you play as an IRL streamer? Oh, I forgot I don't have the music on the screen. Sorry, everybody. There you go. Oh. That's the first thing you think of when you see a character portrait on screen in the game? That's not where my mind would have went, but okay.
Rodolph!
Who do we play as now? I guess we can play as Johnson. I'm not a huge Johnson fan, but
Rodolph!
I don't know, his little buddy is kind of... The little buddy placement is kind of endearing me to him a little bit more. Alright, come on, let's get the hillside. Let's get the racetrack. Damn. I guess Johnson's kind of the blunt cousin now that I think about it. There is? Damn. I guess I haven't seen this particular UI, so I think that was the setup for the Apple Arcade Katamari game, was it was about streaming. The king became a streamer or something. And then I guess made the prince and the cousins do all the work for him. Yeah, we gotta hit up the old man, we gotta hit up the table, we gotta hit up all the points of interest. Nani? So they really improved things in the sequel? That's good to hear. Did I go to the park yet this time? I don't think I did. No. The only thing that is bothering me a little bit about these levels is that they never seem to fully restock. By the time you do a loop, they never seem to actually like fully restock all the roses. This is some pretty good. I feel like these have both been some pretty good Katamari albums. They fit the vibe. They fit the vibration, you know? Alright, I'll check that out in a minute. I'm feeling it right now. Goriness, oh no. Maybe I'm not gonna look at it after all. If there's one thing I hate, it's gore and excessive violence. I'm not wearing my Tokyo Gore Police shirt right now. I thought maybe I was, but I'm not. You can't see that. You didn't see the casual look down. You're fibbing. No, that's way too much effort. I'd rather just like invest in like a 3D model or something. I don't want to fuck around with all that. That's like way too distracting. I don't think I could do that. That's way too much. Wow, this pillar doesn't have any collision on it? Wait, it does, but it doesn't? How did I completely just went... I completely went through it. How did I do that? See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, it's only... Okay, this side of it. This face right here doesn't. That's probably so you don't get stuck here. Interesting. I know, we were saying this, by the time I'm done with this, we're gonna know each of these stages inside and out completely. To live type my face. Again, I think I'd rather just invest in a more accurate tracking model. It does feel better, even though it's not as strong. Weren't we just talking about this the other day? Am I getting deja vu? That was very inefficient routing right there. Also, nobody told me. I completely forgot to change the category yesterday, and nobody told me. I was in the makers and crafting category all night. I'm so ashamed. Can't believe I would make a mistake like that. The rails on the... What do you mean? I should have been in the cookie dummy... What? Did you mean to say cookie? Did you mean to call me a kooky dummy? Which, first of all, watch your language. How dare you? How dare you call me a kooky dummy? I guess that's true. If you want to stretch the definition of makers and crafting. We're making memories and crafting... crafting positive vibes right now. We're crafting a more beautiful and kind future for this world. What? Don't make that face at me. Come on. What do you mean? I might switch stages a little. I don't want to do this one again. I really want to get the racetrack stage. We might switch at 5K. Ah! I also almost had the idea that like if people got the commission rewards, which they did, those have all been claimed already. If people got the commission rewards, I was gonna work on those on stream to make it go on longer, but that's definitely not happening now. That is absolutely not happening. You will have to wait patiently for those. You gotta be careful. Yeah, there we go. You gotta have a gentle touch when it comes to absconding with that old man's roses. I don't know, I might have to put on something with a little bit more energy to it after this. Even though I am feeling quite chill tonight. I might be too chill. I might be too chilled out. I don't know. I'm thinking about the tank game now still. I don't know, I don't want to fall into that trap. I don't want to fall into that trap of revealing all of our ideas and then they don't actually get actualized. It feels really nice to aim down sights of the barrel against a wounded foe's forehead to put him down clean. Damn. I didn't realize you were a killer like that. I didn't realize you were so ruthless. Yeah, I do sometimes feel bad talking about the ideas on stream because none of them have actually materialized yet, so I feel a bit... I feel more like a fraud. I know that I've made it abundantly clear over the years that I am in fact a fraud, but... I try to minimize my fraudulence as much as possible. I can't get these. I keep going past here, but the Katamari is like just too small to get these out of the mailbox. It's very annoying. You'd think you could do like a nice clean pass. and get those easy, but you can't. It's very frustrating. That mailbox is such a tease. I hate it. Much like me, that mailbox is such a tease. I do like the look of that game a lot. The nice, big, detailed sprites. Yeah, I think this might be... I don't know. We can definitely get to 300k. That's for sure. We'll at least get to 300k. Blow his shit smooth off. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I am entering some kind of trance state. I think I'm starting to black out. I don't know if I've ever really thought about that stone, no. The damage out to enemies when you hit them with a tank still, what does that mean? This is kind of like skateboarding. I have thought about that a little bit when it comes to Katamari. It does have kind of like the similar flow to it, to a skateboarding game. And I mean sort of like... I don't know, I've also thought about what it would be like Katamari does have a very fun control scheme and it's very satisfying, but I've always wondered what it would be like to take this type of game and like give it more of like a skateboarding type feel to it, where it's like you can really pick up speed and like, you know, get a really nice route going and like zip zop zoobity bop around. Like the X games of Katamari. Katamari X. You know, what would that be like? Where you can like drift and like you have like a boost meter and like that kind of thing. Katamari Extreme, and the prince wears sunglasses and a backwards hat. Dragon a tank and remember any that isn't in a tank. Damage to lives you remember enemies that aren't in tanks. Also applies, so like you can ram into other tanks and damage them. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that all you're trying to get at? Okay. That was a really convoluted way of saying that, but I get what you mean now. That should be like one of the unlockable experimental vehicles in the tank game, is a little like hoverboard or something. Or like a hover mobile that lets you do like sick tricks. And it's like extremely light, so you can't really carry anything, but you can do like dumb shit. Yeah, the Jack and Daxter hoverboard, exactly. It couldn't really be a hoverboard though, because you know you can't get out of your vehicle, but you know, like a ghost or like a wraith from Halo, something like that. No, I guess I don't know. I guess it wouldn't feel as satisfying if it was floating. Maybe, I don't know, or like a Wipeout style hover mobile. What are they called in Wipeout? What's the name of the vehicles? I remember this has definitely been a topic of discussion before, Stone, is these sort of naming conventions for planets and things. Alright, we'll get to 278,000, and then I'll get up and take a break. Damn, that's such a big number, and it's still not even close to what we need it to be. That's such a large number that isn't anywhere near as large as we need it to be. Damn. Rolling around with no music is a little haunting. Alright. We're not done yet, King. Don't say that just yet. We're not quite done for the day. We still got a while to go. We still got a while to go. Down on the Katamari farm. The wild Katamari grazing on the plains. I did get some more pipe tobacco today. It smells quite delicious. It smells quite good. I haven't tried any of it, but I got 2 new kinds. They smell quite tasty. Alright, let's not play as Johnson anymore either. I'm not a big fan of this guy. You know, let's go with the good old Prince. Let's go with the classic. Alright, that's right. I forgot the Prince's little buddy is the king. I forgot about that. Alright. Time for a little breakaroon. Time for a little break ski. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna take a little break. I think I'm gonna moonwalk everywhere during this break. I think that's gonna be that's gonna be what I'm gonna do. I think instead of walking normally during this break, I'm gonna moonwalk everywhere. How does that sound? Maybe that'll give me an injection of energy that I need. Maybe that'll really perk me up, I don't know. Maybe that'll I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be right back. I simply don't know anymore. Alright. Alright. I also got a cookie. I got a hot cocoa cookie. Mmm. Which just tastes like hot cocoa. It doesn't actually have like liquid hot chocolate in it. That would be kind of awesome if it did, but it does not. I don't know. I guess like a jelly filled kind of cookie is good. I don't know about actual like liquid. Like actual seeping liquid coming out. Probably not something you want. I guess maybe, I don't know. You could do something like it's designed to like dip in like tea or coffee or something. And like whatever's in the center like re-liquefies with the warmth. I don't know. I'm not sure what sort of arcane gastric science you would have to engage in. What sort of dark culinary entity you would have to make a pact with in order to get that working. But it is an idea. A good idea? No. Definitely not a good one. But it is certainly an idea. You can't say it's not. Anyway, I guess we better get back to it. What the heck is the Mighty Foot? I thought that was a gore fetish game, not a foot fetish game. I mean, I guess it could be both. One doesn't really preclude the other. Some bare feetsies stepping around in the guts and viscera of your foes. The exploded out insides of your enemies. Probably somebody's into that. Not me, but probably somebody. Is it? I didn't know that. I know you can kick in Duke Nukem. I didn't know that. I know that Dick Kickem can do a lot of kicking. I didn't know that was the official term for it. Interesting. Anyway, I know I said I might punch up the... I might pump up the energy, the jams a little bit, but I don't think I really want to do that. I think we're going to keep it low-key tonight. I need to stop saying that. I keep saying that. It's wormed its way back into my vocabulary, and I don't like it. I think we're going to keep things chill. We're going to keep the chill vibrations going. I could go for a cup of tea. I think it's maybe a little, I don't know, I think it would take a little bit too long to make a cup of tea during the break. It would have to be like a pretty long break. Or like a long-ish break. Longer than anybody's willing to afford me. Longer than I fucking deserve. What? Is there something I need to click on? Oh yeah, picture's right. It does look like a streamer overlay. Because it's not just the head, it's like kind of like the part of the upper body too. I've seen these things before. I've caught these things in many a fishing game, but I don't remember what they're called. I like it though. I like these guys. These goofy little goobrons. A gar, yes. Not to be confused with agar, which is a different thing. That is a gar. That is a singular gar. Alright, come on. Give it to me. Give it to me! Yes. Yes. Ooh, I don't know why, but I was like really finessing the sticks there for a second. I was like really going for it. I don't know why. My tryhard pro Katamari player came out. I did just get a weird sense of deja vu at the number of roses collected, which is weird. I saw the number and I was in that particular spot, and it gave me a sense of deja vu. They drop hunger pickups, as in pickups that make you hungry. They don't cure your hunger; they make you hungry. They're not food pickups; they're hunger pickups. As in pickups that fill your hunger? Well, if your hunger's full, wouldn't that be bad for you? If your hunger is full, wouldn't that mean you're very hungry? If your hunger's full, that means that your stomach is empty. If your stomach is full, then that means your hunger is empty. Right? You don't want to have full hunger, you want to have empty hunger. You want to have no hunger. You have to eat in that game? I wouldn't have expected that. If If your pickle is dill, you won't be hungry for long. Really? That's what you got? After all that time, that's what you come back with? That is definitely not the type of game that I would have expected to have, like, food and hunger mechanics, but sure. Do you have a piss gauge to tie into the hunger gauge? Oh. I wonder if there's certain spots in the level that trigger, like, more roses to be loaded in. And that's what causes the slowdown sometimes. Maybe it has to do with, because on the snow level you spawn in the middle, and on this level you spawn up there, so maybe like going back to the spawn point like causes a bunch more roses to reload. I don't know. It never happens on the town stage. There's no pissing or water? Damn. I don't know why I said damn like I was disappointed. I'm not disappointed in that. That doesn't need to be a thing. Also, I think I just the roses that fly out, you don't pick those up, I don't think. Do you not? Oh no, maybe you do. Oh, but they go away. I was gonna say, could I just sit on top of this pillar and collect infinite roses as they fly out, but they stop. Interesting. They thought of that. Not that you would collect roses very quickly doing that, but I'm sure that would take absolutely forever. But it would be an infinite source of roses where you wouldn't have to actually play the game. But they said no. You will roll up the 1,000,000 roses by hand. You will not take shortcuts. Got my nose. Got a little scratchy. Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll do one of the tier lists. I want to make sure I'm feeling like, I want to make sure I'm feeling a little energetic for that. I want to make sure I got a little bit more verve. Because I think that's going to be fun. Again, though, knowing me, it's probably going to take forever. A peer list? A list of my peers? I mean, I guess it is going to be that, too. One of them's going to be the cousins, so I guess it's going to be a list of my peers as well. It's going to be both. A peer list of my tiers. A tier list, but TEAR, and it's about everything that makes me sad. That doesn't seem like a good activity to do. That doesn't seem to be a good activity to do, especially with this charity. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of end of the year lists of things. I'm not watching the Game Awards this year. I can't, because I'll be doing this. Oh no, I just thought of a horrible idea. Should I have the Game Awards on in the background while I'm rolling up roses? I don't know if I want to do that to myself. That seems like a nightmarish proposition. It would definitely take the burden off of me for a stream, but I don't know if it just gets so much worse every year. No, I was kind of thinking I would do the opposite, where the big Game Awards would be the main frame. The Game Awards would be the big one, and then the rolling would be the small picture-in-picture in the corner. If I was gonna do it, I'd probably do it the opposite way. I don't know, award shows are so fucking horrible, man. I don't understand how anybody cares about them at all. But what about all the announcements? What if they announce a cool video game that I want to play? What if in between the dozens and dozens and dozens of completely disposable titles that I'll forget about 35 seconds after they've been shown to me, what if they talk about one thing that's cool that I like? What if that happens? I wouldn't want to miss that. I wouldn't want to miss that live. I might be out of the loop for, like, I don't know, 12 hours. How would I survive? Yeah, that should be one of the categories. Coolest video game. You got the Cool Video Game Award. World premiere. World premiere. And then Jeff Keighley just walks on stage with his cock out. Everybody starts applauding. World premiere. Jeff Keighley's penis. Yeah! Woo! He just starts bowing. Hideo Kojima comes out and starts sucking him off. He gets a standing ovation. Yeah! Woo! And then the curtains close and the show's over. That's the entirety of the Game Awards. It's just that one thing. Do they advertise gambling at the Game Awards? I don't really remember. I black them out after every single one. Who's this? my god. I definitely can't show that on stream. She's got some nice boots, though. I guess they do advertise gambling everywhere. You are correct about that. Microtrans. Well, that's like, I don't know. That could be not a casino. That doesn't necessarily have to be a casino. It often is, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah, but not all microtransactions are loot boxes. All loot boxes are micro. It's like squares and rectangles. It is crazy to me that gambling has become so pervasive. And that sports gambling is like just like such a, it's such a huge thing over here. It's kind of insane. I don't know. I don't like the idea of gambling. I'm not into it. I try to avoid that as much as possible. It's not my style. What was I gonna say? I feel like I was gonna say something. I feel like I had a thought I was working on, but I don't know. The Neo Roaring 20s are upon us. Yeah, but the Roaring 20s sound like they were maybe a little fun. These are more like the Lamenting 20s. This is more, there's a lot more lamentation than roaring and gnashing of teeth. There's a lot of that going on. We're entering the gnashing 20s. No, that still sounds too cool. That sounds like the name of like some sort of hardened criminal organization. That you have to slowly work your way through the ranked members, and they each have their own unique weapon and fighting style. The shit-ass lame-o 20s? I guess you're right. We could probably come up... There's probably something in between that's a little more... that's better than that. I think that might be on the far end of the spectrum. Can't wait for the whoring 20s. What happens during those? I don't know. I was at the doctor's office the other day and they were playing a bunch of ads on the TV, but it was all like medical ads. And they were like, I don't know, like it's always kind of been fucked up that they can advertise medicine to the populace. But having it happen in the doctor's office was like, I don't know, it was like extra jarring. Especially because it was, I don't know, some of them were like, tell your doctor about this, and ask your doctor about this. And I was like, isn't that the doctor's job? Why do I don't think I should be the one doing that. I thought the whole point of me being here is so that I can avoid self-diagnosing. I don't know if I want to be... Isn't that the doctor's job to do that? I already know. I mean, I can guess. I can guess. I don't know. I'm not sure I would survive the whoring 20s. I think I can wait on those. I was just talking about prescription medicine. There's also a bunch of them. There's also a bunch of repeating ones that were about like they were about like vaccines, and I thought it was really funny because they were just like very matter of fact, and just like it would like pose a question, and it would be like, are vaccines safe and effective? Yes. Is natural immunity better than getting a vaccine? No. And it was just like yes or no answers. And I thought it was, I don't know, it was just funny that they would give these really specific questions and then just yes, no. I don't know, we're approaching 300k. I kind of don't want to stop. Maybe I'll go for a little bit more than that. I'm not sure. Yes! I don't know. I do kind of feel like I'm in like a very like I'm in a very zen-like state right now. This has not been the most exciting one, but I am enjoying myself. I think it could be very fun when weapons are blatantly overpowered, if the game is like designed around that. That's part of the fun of, that's part of what makes Dota so fun. When it is fun. Is that there's a lot of shit in that game where it's just very blatantly, it's just very like absurd and overpowered. But that's what makes it cool. I see. A glass cannon who needs to eat. A glass cannon who needs to stay well fed and hydrated on the battlefield. Get your calorie, mate. I do feel like I don't know. I'm not... I'm not too studied on Zen Buddhism, but I feel like I do feel like I'm approaching kind of a Zen-like state with doing this. I feel like it's been quite good. I feel like honestly, doing this has been quite good for my mental health overall. I don't know. It's been really, like... It's good. I'm enjoying it. It's improving my mood and my outlook a lot, that's for sure. So I think mission accomplished. I'm really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Did they ever make a real... That's a good question. I don't know. I could see the term glass cannon just, like, being evocative enough that, like...
Oh my god.
It's too literal, you know? For me to think that it's based on, like, a real thing that happened. Like, if it were more abstract, you know? But the term glass cannon, I could very easily see just being like, well, yeah, it's just an apt description for the idea, you know? Like, I don't know. If the term glass cannon instead, like, if the term glass cannon was instead like rose bush, or like bouquet of roses, but it still meant the same thing, then it's like, okay, I could see how there's probably like a story or like a real life event or something that's based on. But glass cannon sounds pretty literal. It's pretty descriptive. Like, if it was something that didn't make any sense, then I'd be like, you know, there's probably a story there, but... The only time in history that I could imagine anybody ever decided to make a glass cannon was when they had just invented cannons. I can't imagine having a normal... I can't imagine having normal cannons. I can't imagine normal, regular cannons working, or existing and working, and then somebody being like, but what if we made it out of glass? Wait a minute, what if we made them out of glass? And then they do that and it explodes and shreds them into ribbons because of the glass shrapnel, and they're like, well, that didn't really... It didn't work, but it kind of did exactly what we thought it was going to do, so... It didn't work, but it also kind of functioned exactly as expected. Spinning your armor, I tie strong attack, but fragile to bouquet of roses right now. Well, you see... like, because roses have thorns and things like that. Roses have thorns and things like that, so, you know, a bouquet of roses would have, like, a bunch of thorns, so if you grab it by the stem, you're gonna take a lot of damage. But flowers themselves are also very light and fragile, so you could very easily get scattered. The bouquet of roses could very easily be scattered to the wind, you know, and they'd be separated, and then become a bunch of individual roses that aren't very strong, but, you know... They can cause a lot of damage, but they could also be scattered and taken apart very easily. So... It has the potential for a lot of damage, but also the potential to be obliterated by a stiff breeze, you know? Ornamental or ceremonial reasons? Oh, okay. The crystal cannon. My orichalcum cannon. Made to obliterate my foes. Oh, you wanted like an actual story? You wanted like an actual... I guess you're right. That is kind of what we were talking about. I did the thing that I was... I guess it made sense too, literally. We'd have to pick something even more abstract. I guess you're right. I didn't really understand the prompt. I'm sorry. I have failed as a streamer. Horned pig. What is that all about? They call them things wild hogs around here. Tell you what, them I tell you they run wild, tear up all the dirt and things. Almost, not quite. It's not quite the southern rambling. It's not quite the Southern Rambler, but it's close. Oh, that was a suggestion for, Well, you see, once, many years ago, deep within the mountains, many years ago, there was a wild boar, there's a wild pig. And through some mutation, it got, you know, it was a devil pig, and it had big thick horns, and it could charge at people, and gore them, and smash them up real good. However, because it had these big horns, its legs grew very weak. You know, it started to have back problems and ankle joint issues. And one day it was going to charge at somebody, but it twisted its ankle and it collapsed and it died right there. It couldn't get up again. It was very powerful, but also very weak. And so that's why to this day, when we talk about something that's very dangerous, but also very easily undone, we call it a horned pig. Because of the legend of the horned pig of, the Chokshawati Valley. How was that? Was that convincing? If I had lit up my pipe before doing that, it probably would have inspired me a little bit more. It probably would have helped me get into character a little more. Character. Why the fuck did I say it like that? Character. Yeah, I don't know, I'll give that like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6. I feel like I could do better, but not bad. I was having a little bit of difficulty with that one because I was like, pigs are very strong, or like wild boars are very strong, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but what do I know of James II of Scotland? Nothing, other than this picture of this guy, who I guess was missing half of his face. That's either a mask or he's missing half of the flesh of his face. I do like his pose though, and his extremely broad shoulders. Also, that is some extreme. That is egregious. That is some egregious menu artwork, I guess. No, it's a birthmark? Okay. They didn't really portray that very well in the artwork. It's got very uniform edges, and it kind of looks like muscle, but... My buddy Bimbo, he told me what he seen one night up in Chicludo Hills. Some kind of devil pig went right up his truck, left a big gash in the side, said it sounded like the metal was crying. Well, were you giving me less points because I didn't put on a character? Or just due to the quality of the story? I didn't know I had to put on a character when I was doing this. If I had to play the role of like a character, then I would have. Now I feel like the story quality? Okay. That was a better Rambler voice, though. Fiery face. I'm just saying, it didn't look like a birthmark to me. That's not how it read to me. Get it? Red? Some kind of devil pig up in them there hills. We're putting together a posse to go take it out. You in? There's a reward in it for whoever can claim the horns of the devil pig. We're putting together a posse to go hunt it down. And then I guess they go up into the Chicludo Hills and they kill the pig very easily. Maybe Bimbo picks up a stone to try and throw it at the pig to distract it, and he ends up accidentally hitting the pig, but he hits the pig like square on the temple, and it went right down. It went right down in one blow. We didn't even fire a single shot. You know, and it's... Okay, that's a little better. I think that works a little better. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a British accent right now. Not right now. Maybe late. Maybe at a later date when certain people aren't present. All right, we gotta put on some more. We gotta put on some new music. I don't know what though. Ugh. He took a large number of glass cannons. He was near one of them and exploded, and it took off half of his face. Holy shit. That's the origin of the term. We found it out. Completely by accident. That's crazy. Come on, you're supposed to go with the flow. Come on. Come on. You're supposed to yes and. James was stricken to the ground and died hastily. Hundreds of years ago. He's never gonna find out. He's never gonna find out that you were joshing about his cannons and the material with which they were constructed. Well, yeah, but you know, he probably wouldn't remember. If this mission just had your Katamari, it's just big. I mean, it could. That would be funny. I guess it doesn't do that on this level.
Oh my god.
I mean, maybe it would. I don't know, because I think it only picks up a. I think it only picks an item that is in your Katamari, but I don't know. I'm not so sure how that works actually. That's actually what triggers. That's actually what triggers the memories of his past life. Hearing about that, he's like, wait a minute. Some guy who had absolutely no knowledge of King James II of the Scots hears that story and it's like, wait a minute, it's all coming back to me. You know, a lot of people get birthmarks from wounds that they suffered in past lives, so maybe that was already part of it. Maybe in a past life, King James II did die by having his face half exploded off, and that's why he has that huge birthmark. It could be. I just went right through that dog. I phased right through that dog. I feel like my routing on this stage is not as efficient as it could be. I think it's still probably the most efficient stage, but it's not. I feel like I could be more efficient. I don't know. I kind of feel captive in this borrowed time right now. No, that's not true. That is something that I kept continually, like, sort of, like, not... I guess forgetting isn't the right word, but, like, not realizing, like, leading up to these streams. Like, I was getting all stressed out and worked up and stuff. But then, like, you know, a day or two before the charity thing actually started, I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna be playing We Love Katamari. I'm gonna be playing, like, my favorite game of all time. Like, it's like, it can't be that bad, you know? Like, I don't know, I didn't really realize it, but I was like, wait a minute. I really like this part of the song too. It's a nice little... It's amazing how powerful saying no, that's not true can be against downer thoughts. That is true. It is very effective. Christmas tree worms. Well, now I gotta check these out. I wasn't gonna, but now I gotta. I was gonna wait. I should just have the... I keep forgetting to do this. I should just have the web browser on my other monitor so I don't have to keep going back and forth. But I'm a bit silly sometimes, and I forget to do these things. Oh my god. Those are some... They do look like crazy Christmas trees. I guess, kind of. They look more like Christmas trees than they do a lot of other things, that's for sure. They look more like Christmas trees than they do worms. Christmas trees? But yeah, I don't know. I can't even pretend that this is like some sort of like arduous task. It's a very enjoyable task, at least to me. It's very calming. Unlike you, I can't run with a 20mm caliber rifle. Well, they're not wrong. Well, yeah, but Christmas tree worms don't look like worms. They look like Christmas trees. Kind of. Man, that would be a great... That would be a great fictional creature. The little string worm, the little fuzzy worms that you pull around on a string, but they're just like real worms. Maybe I'll include that in something. I used to have one of those. I feel like we would get those when we were on vacation, me and my sister, and we would play with the little string worms. Those things are fun, man. It's some good old-fashioned fun. Prostomial palps. I see. So they're gills too. I've always thought it would be very cool to have a biome in a game that like is deep sea creatures but on land. Like weird deep sea looking creatures but on land. That feels like a very easy thing to do. Or like a very easy way to create like a very strange environment, but I don't know if I've ever really seen that before. Like just take all the weird creepy deep sea creatures but put them on land. Give them land versions. Elden Ring? Not really. I can't think of an environment like that. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere like that, but I don't really think so. Oh, yeah, but those are like, I don't know, they're like weird, like, ghost things. And they're just, and it's like only those, and they appear in a bunch of different places. They're not really like, it's not really the environment, really. Kind of, but not quite. Ooh, the feather duster worm is pretty cool. Alright, how egregious is this design gonna be? Oh, that one's not that bad. That's probably the least egregious one so far. That one's relatively tame, I would say. Nah. Entrepreneurial, self-made worm. I don't know, I do have to say, though, I think it was whatever that game was. I wasn't really into, like, bodysuits or anything like that. But whatever that visual novel I played was, where, like, every single character was, like, wearing, like, tight, shiny clothing. I don't know, I think it did something to me. I think it really awakened a very deep appreciation for skin-tight bodysuits, we'll say. We'll call it an appreciation. What? What's that face for? I like the sniper design. That's a good one. I could see how she probably couldn't run around with a gigantic sniper rifle. That makes sense. The leather club is 3 blocks down. I don't know, none of the quotes are coming to me right now. I'm telling you, I'm operating on very low brain power right now. I'm the boss of this gym. That's another one. That rose bundle's a little cock tease as well. You think you can just roll up and get it, but for some reason the turtle topiary has collision on it. So you just kind of bounce off of it. It's very frustrating. I think I am gonna go past 300k. I feel like I can keep going a little bit more. Actually, what time is it? Okay, it's not even midnight yet. Alright, yeah, I can keep going. I can keep going. At least a little bit. Again, even if this is not the most exciting one. I don't know, I'm pretty proud of myself though. I was able to keep the going. I was able to keep the going energetic for like 4 days straight. That's more than I would have expected, honestly. I feel like there's a lot of weekends where I can't even keep it going for 3 streams. So being able to keep it up for 4. And then the thing that I'm keeping up is my energy levels, to be clear. Ugh. That doesn't sound like a very angelic name. Oh my god. She got big meaty claws. She got big meaty mitts. Not what I was expecting from the angel. Oh, angel of ire. I thought it was fire. Ire is a different word. Ire means something else. There's angels and demons in this game? I was not aware. There we go. I'm not stopping though, I'm just changing maps. Damn, you gotta kill them both? That's fucked up. I was flipping through magazines. I was so stoned and starving. I was thinking, asking myself, I can't sing. I always forget the lyrics to shit. I vaguely remember the lyrics, but I never remember them specifically. That's why there's almost certainly never gonna be a karaoke stream. I don't know, I'm so self-conscious I don't even ever sing to myself. I don't think I would be able to survive a, I don't think I would be able to survive a, whatchamacallit, a karaoke stream. Come on, give me the ice level. I want to go back to the skating rink. Damn. I wonder if it's faster to just quit out than, like, actually end the level. But again, the phrasing of it makes me very nervous. It says you will lose all roses you have collected. Which I'm imagining is just like roses you collected in that session. But the way that it sounds makes me feel like... I don't know. I don't want to lose all of the roses I've collected. It can't possibly mean that you'll go all the way back down to 0 total, but... What if it does? What if it does mean that? There we go. I'm going the wrong way again. I always do that. I feel like that would cause a lot of problems on a cosmological scale. Yes, I know the bobbit worm. I think everybody knows the bobbit worm. Bobby the Bobbin Worm. Robert Worm. I'm sorry. Oh, come on. I don't know. Maybe the Bobbit Worm might be more famous than the Flag of France. I don't know. It's not likely, but it's possible. Also, this is easily the worst tease of all in any of these stages. This one you literally can't get. That one's fake. You literally can't get this one. I don't think. Yeah, you just can't, you straight up can't get that one. That one's just a trick. That one's a cruel trick. Alright. Oh. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what caused it there. It's just gotta be like a specific spot on the stage, right? That does it? Well, don't tell me. No spoilers. I do want to play these games at some point. I want to find out for myself. I think that this old lady is just shooting roses out of herself. The princess I can kind of understand, because she's like spinning, she's like a beautiful maiden, you know. Is that related? That sounds completely unrelated. Also, how? It doesn't really get much more scantily clad than that, unless you just start straight up naked. There's not, like... There's really not much... There's not much scant to be declad. I was about to say, everybody... Yeah, but I'm also not the protagonist of a video game. I don't think. I might be. I don't think I am, but I could be. Maybe one day I will be, but... God damn it. I'm certainly not the protagonist of a video game where you start off naked. But again, maybe one day. It's true. Anything's possible. Once we enter the whoring 20s, who knows? I really like the random little effects that appear as you're rolling things up. Like the rainbow and the sparkles and stuff like that. I remember when I was a kid, I kept wondering if they like meant anything. Like if they were like a signifier of like your combo or whatever, but I don't think they are. I think it's just random. I think it's just bright colors and effects to make you feel good. And it does make me feel good. It is true. I really do love Katamari. It's so inspiring in so many ways. It just brings me joy. I don't know. That is also part of the reason why I chose this for this particular charity, is that like this is something I've always wanted to do, was do the Million Roses ever since I knew about it. So I can scratch that off my bucket list. And this game just, I don't know, it just makes me happy. It just fills me with joy. Here's Beyond Citadel starting. I don't know if I should look at this on stream. Oh my god. That is basically naked. Get that out of my screen. I don't want to look at that. I can't be looking at that kind of thing while I'm on the air. You still get to keep the big booties though. You still get the big boots. I guess I shouldn't say booties in this context. Although she does have one of those too. They're apparently all you need. Everything else is optional. As long as you have those, you're good to go. As long as you have those, there's apparently nothing to worry about. Ugh. Yeah, I'm losing it. I'm having no thoughts. I'm having no ideas. My brain is well and truly empty, pretty much. That kind of looks like, I don't know. They kind of all look very similar. Their faces and hairstyles all look pretty similar. Maybe there's a reason for that. What do they call it? Same face syndrome? I don't really mind that too much. It's never really bothered me. I feel like a lot of people make a big deal out of it, but I don't know. It's never really... It doesn't really get under my skin, I suppose. Well, I know you do. Alright, we'll probably stop at 310. We'll probably stop at 310,000. Yeah, I guess I'll try to get to bed early tonight. I'll try to get some actual sleep. That way I can nourish my mind with nuggets of tantalizing wisdom tomorrow that I can relay to you all as I try my hardest to say words. As I try as hard as I possibly can to speak in sentences. I do kind of wish that the Katamari had like a skating noise as opposed to like a sliding noise, but you know, it is round, so it is round and smooth, so that is a very satisfying noise. Everything related to snow and ice I feel like makes very satisfying noises, you know, like the crunchity crunchity of walking on snow, the whatchamacallit, the sound of ice skates carving through ice, that little, like, it's all very good. It's all very satisfying. I quite enjoy it. That's also a great way to take an ice level in a game and make it fun as opposed to annoying. Just give a character like ice skates or something. Just give him like some ice skates. That solves so many problems. Although, as I was saying, I feel like the ice physics in this game are actually pretty fun. Now that I've been interacting with them a lot, probably more than anyone ever has in this game. I'm probably gonna be in the top 10 of people who've spent the most time engaging with the ice physics in We Love Katamari. Unless, you know, there's like that one Katamari fan out there with probably some type of neurodivergence that causes them to be obsessed with this game to the point that they've not only completed the Million Rose Challenge, but they've done it many times. They've collected hundreds of millions of roses. Barring the existence of that person. And their favorite level is the ice level, and it's the only one that they play when they do it. Barring the existence of said individual, I'd reckon I'm definitely gonna be on the short list. Well, I guess I did start by saying, like, top 10. I didn't say number 1. I never claimed to be number 1 in anything. Nor will I. I think the fact that this is just a big circle is what makes this level so satisfying. I don't know. I'm gonna start going back the other way. It's more exciting to go against the flow of traffic because I'm a rebel. I'm an iconoclast. I like to live dangerously. I live for the thrill. There's better environments. That's usually like an easy step up in pretty much any sequel. Out of any medium, I feel like video games pretty easily, they most easily benefit, or most consistently benefit from sequels. Like, with pretty much, like, you know, books, movies, paintings. You never really know. A sequel doesn't necessarily, like, improve upon the original. But with video games, it's much easier to, like, improve when it comes to a sequel. Especially if you don't change up the gameplay all that much. Like, if you improve upon it but don't change it up, like, all that much, you can focus on other stuff, too. You can focus on really polishing it up and adding a bunch of other shit once you have that base to work off of. Would that be fun? Or that guy's going around the ice on his stomach. Would that be fun? Or I feel like that would be uncomfortable. It might be fun for a very brief amount of time, but I feel like you'd get a lot of like little ice crystals and like snow kicking up in your face. And it would really start to irritate your body after a while, but I don't know. I've never done it myself, so I can't say. I really do miss the snow. Just doing this over and over again really makes me miss the snow. Alright, hold on. Oh wait, no, I still have 1,000. I was gearing up to end. I still have more to go. I was gonna say I'm forcing myself to stop because I need to get some rest tonight. I need to make sure I get some rest tonight. But I feel like I can keep going. Just now realizing that I was off and I do need to keep going, I think I do need to call it. I actually do think it's time. I did have that moment where I was like, oh god, wait, I actually have to keep going. So, I think that's a sign. I think that feeling means I gotta call it for the evening after this. Once we hit 310. My life might depend on it, I don't know. It's really just today that I was a little sleep deprived. I'm not super backed up on sleep, but... I don't know why, but why do so many people seem to have a compulsion to tell me to go to sleep? I feel like people often feel the compulsion to baby me in that very specific regard. I don't know why. I guess it probably, I don't know, maybe it is also just, I'm reading too, it affects me more because I do have many memories of staying up way too late playing video games. And I still do that. I still do have that. There we go. I seem to lack a compulsion to go to sleep. I mean, that is true. I can't deny it. I know in this instance I brought it up. I'm just saying in general. Anything new? No. Same dot. I wonder when it's gonna change. I'm so curious as to when it's gonna change and how many different lines he's gonna have. Because I don't know what triggered the first one. Oh, I probably should have stopped at like 333,000, right? That would have been a much nicer number to stop at. I don't know. That a nice like 1/3, or like 333,333. That's where I should stop. That would make a lot more sense, right? That would be a lot more. I don't know. I don't know if it would be a lot more, actually. I said it would be something. I think. Maybe. I don't know. I am actually going to stop here, though. It is time to stop for the evening. I've used up all my energy reserves for the night, I believe. Oh, that was weird. I should go back and add some sound effects to the scene transition, the scream transition. I should just have it scream. I should have a really, really loud scream play whenever I do the sticker scene transition. Every single little sticker being slapped on should go, ah! Ugh. But yeah, I guess that's it. Ow. I guess that's it. Not that kind of transition. I hope that doesn't involve screaming. That seems bad. I hope that wouldn't involve screaming. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you all had a good time. I guess I don't have too much to say at the end of this one. It was a pretty relaxed effort. I'll say. Pretty relaxed one. We still made some nice progress though. I'm happy. I'm happy with the progress that we're making, I must say. Things are going well. Things are rolling along rather nicely. I do need to get back to doing the voice training. I've been slacking. I've been slacking when it comes to the voice training. But yeah, I guess that's it. I will be back tomorrow. We'll be doing more of this. Maybe I'll do a tier list tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see what I feel like doing. I might save those for the weekend. I don't know. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you all enjoyed your time here tonight. And yeah. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. I gotta edit the VODs too. I gotta get the VODs up too. I started doing that, but I didn't. I got like one edited and like rendered, but I gotta